All right, I see a red box. I'm looking at that box. Inside the box, it says the word live. I'm consulting my host manual. That, in fact, means we are live. Thank you, fine people out there, for being so patient. You know what they say? Great things come to those who wait a little bit. And I have a funny feeling you're going to love this evening for sure. I'm going to put this guy on the spot as if he needs an introduction and ask him, Jimbo, if you would introduce yourself to the fine people out there this evening.
Hello, Jimbo Mathis. I'm broadcasting from Taylor, Mississippi, just south of Oxford, Mississippi. That's Lafayette County, and that's my home turf, my home territory.
Outstanding.
Nice to see you all out there. Thank you for joining us.
You checked all the boxes. Thank you for not giving them your social security number or home address. And with that, Squirrel Nut Zippers, absolute standout American swing and jazz band. Touch on so many formats. It's hard to categorize them to some degree. They formed, it's hard to believe, in 1993, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, co-founded by Jimbo Mathis. They've sold over 3 million albums in total throughout their career. And their most successful album, Hot, in 1996, sold over 1 million copies, certified platinum, an amazing accomplishment. So, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Let's kick this show off. And Brad, if you would, roll the video.
Thank you, Steve. You made it very easy for me.
All right. The adrenaline's going. I'm Steve Harkins, your host for the Rock and Roll Channel and Talk Shop Live. Please welcome to the Talk Shop Live's Rock and Roll Channel, an American gift to all of us from the Squirrel Nut Zippers, none other than Jimbo Mathis. Jimbo, thank you so much for being here this evening.
Hey, thank y'all, man. Nice speaking with you.
You as well, sir. And fans, if you'd like to ask Jimbo a question or you have a comment, we'll get to as many as possible. Use the chat function. And Jimbo, let me first state, in these somewhat contentious times, it's important to point out, while you may be equated to entertainment, I think it's a lot more important work that you do, especially now. I think it's the one common thread that we have. Doesn't matter what religious conviction people have or what party affiliation they have politically. Man, when you guys set foot on stage or when you deliver this great new record, you unify people, man. So thank you. What you do is really important.
You know, you're not wrong there, and that really is the mission I go to over and over again. Entertainment has quite a value, doesn't it?
It sure
And
does.
I'd have to agree with you. So thank you for that, man. Thank you.
You bet. Man, it's reciprocal. And man, congratulations on this ambitious, wonderful body of work. The new Squirrel Nut Zippers starring Fat City album. And I love the tagline, Swinging Tale of Lust, Betrayal, and Redemption. I believe we should consider naming this week on Talk Shop Live Music Redemption Week. Last night we had a show. The album title was Redemption. So I think it's a common theme right now. And I love the story behind this. I'm not going to take up too much time, but you conceived this project some 30 some odd years ago, as I understand it, while recording in Louisiana. And the storyline is based partly on fact, some fiction, including, love this, the lead character derived from your grandfather, Tony. And wonder if you can share some background on this whole incredible project, also including Fat City. I learned a lot, man, from this album.
Yeah, well, like you said, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. How far back it goes in my personal career of writing, conceiving of this story.
Yeah.
One of the big, I guess best place to start was just with my grandfather, Tony Malvezzi, and one of the first guys I kind of ran the idea of Squirrel Nut Zippers by, It was really at end of his days there. He was an Italian immigrant,
Yep.
going back to your point. Uh, he was born in Italy, and came over. They had, roots in the Mississippi Delta,
Wow.
and so it all ties back into my family, but definitely the stories he told about after the war, World War II, he was a Marine, and he became friends with, some of the big band leaders like Ray McKinley from some of the big bands, and
Right.
he became a big band promoter and stuff in Memphis and New Orleans, and all these stories he told me, and he really didn't share a lot of them till his end days there. He left us too early, but really the
You
impetus to him comes from these clubs that were either in French Quarter, New Orleans, like Diamond Jim Moran's club,
Wow.
my grandfather was good friends with them, and Ray McKinley, the drummer, and the great
Yeah.
band leader, and the Ink Spots, and all these people.
Amazing.
Even though I'm growing up in rural Mississippi. When I go to Clarksdale, Mississippi, to see my grandfather, as time increased, I talked to him more and more about his
Yeah. I mean,
his
Clarksdale,
entertainment
Mississippi.
past. And
Yeah.
then I conceived of it, with the Fat City thing, that it was, a thing they had tried to make an entertainment district out of Metairie, Louisiana,
Right.
and, compete maybe with the French Quarter and things. So it's a entertainment district that didn't quite make it, and
Yeah.
kind of reverted back to its seedy roots. But I decided to place the story there. So you're correct in that. And based on a lot of things that my grandfather told me, and Lil Tony, that's the character, and the biggest little man in Fat City, that's what they used to call Tony, my grandfather, the biggest little man in town.
Yeah.
And
Love
so
that.
a lot of stories there, and a lot of places to get started on the story. So whatever you see fit.
I'll tell you what, you are one patient person, man, to visualize this concept 30 years ago and to finally see it come to fruition. Man, it's gotta be one massive exhale, It's just like, finally.
Man, I mean, you really nailed it. You really did. And I have to say, there's an exhale, but based on the group I have now with the Squirrel Nut Zippers, the talent we have,
Oh,
and the multifaceted dimensions we have, and how we're so nimble and fleet of foot,
yeah.
uh, so I was able to conceive of this. We really didn't have proper sessions to kind of put this together hodgepodge. Over It's been less than a year I did this, and just seeing the opportunities and going back, and okay, some of these melodies, like we'll discuss today, I'm sure some of the songs,
Yeah.
these even predate the any recorded Squirrel Nut Zippers material,
Is that right?
and going back 30 plus years. And it was in my early days of even conceiving of them. Some of these didn't quite make the cut, but it's a long game, and like you said, being patient does help. But I was finally at a point in my life I could actually finish some of these ideas. So I mean, we could get into some of the concepts of the writing and stuff, But I mean, a lot of the original ideas go back over 30 years. The melody, some of the melodies, the initial chords that I concocted to make actually prototype Squirrel Nut Zippers music.
Let's talk
Um,
about yeah,
they
let's
got
talk about
they got
that,
lost
Jimbo.
along the way.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but let's talk about that. I mean, I'm always fascinated with the songwriting process. You're a prolific songwriter and, with the a number of musicians who write their own music, it seems like it's one or the other. It's kind of like they're like a vessel where randomly they'll just out of left field at any given time, they'll hear a melody line or they'll hear a chord progression or a riff, and then that'll be kind of the framework of building the song, and some will sit down and almost like workshop it. Like today, we're gonna try to knock out a couple of songs, let's see where we go, or sometimes it's a combination of both. So I'm very curious, because man, you do not skimp on material here, man. And the songs top to bottom are exceptional, but there's so much music on this album.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty prolific. You know, I've been doing the songwriting bag for so long, I
Yeah,
really got hooked on it in my late teens. And, I've been thinking about it today, about leading up to our conversation that we're going to have and how would I explain that and everything. And I think, some things you can learn, like bricklaying, and
yeah,
even some of the arts like painting and composing. But songwriting is something so personal, something so quirky and unique. It's really hard to put your finger on it because it's like almost like when you're fishing, and they're like some people you'll be in the same spot with the same person, and the one person always catches the fish.
right,
you know,
right,
so
right.
I really feel like it is a calling for me. I mean, all jokes aside,
No, I
but
agree with you. You are a chosen you're the chosen one, man. If all of us could do what you do, somebody would have written the book, we'd all sign up for it, we'd be
it'd be a
knocking out this
beautiful
book.
world. Yeah.
It would be.
But it's about poetry, it's about words, stringing words together, music, melody, and just having it in your DNA. But not, um, I just think that some people are luckier at that. And songwriting is so quirky and so idiosyncratic. I don't think anyone could explain how you do it, but it's
You're
an
exactly right.
internal process. And a record like this is so important to me,
Yeah,
personally. I don't,
yeah,
I kind of snuck it in on the band and everything, and it turned into this huge opus. But it's been something that the it really took back a hold of me about last April when I got the Zebra Ranch studio, and
uh-huh,
it started doing some demos there. And I got the feeling going, the old vibe. Some of the songs like Il Campanile, Castaway Stone, some of the first ones I did. It was a matter of me getting really control over the of the production.
yeah.
Even though I've had the hot hand on the production for a while, but to get the sound I wanted on the Little Tony thing, it was something unique and it was something I couldn't get anywhere else. And I kind of had to have my own place to get it launched.
I
And even though it was several places I recorded,
yeah,
it was the Zebra Ranch that inspired me to do it. And the first cast I brought in to do those first demos.
I'm blown away by the production, and the reason I am is because these are songs that feel like they would lend itself to being overproduced. Like if a producer wants to showcase himself, he could put layer upon layer because the songs would lend itself to that. But these songs breathe, man. They've got great arrangements. You serve the song, and top to bottom, and really impressive. I mean, I have to say,
Yeah, I mean, song to song, there's a lot there, but just to make each piece be just like a timeless piece, that it could
right?
be anywhere and you could hear it and you wouldn't know where it was. But on the CD release that Music Maker has, it's 23 compositions. And on the double vinyl, my original goal was to have the whole double vinyl,
Yeah,
with the full art, the beautiful art. It
yeah.
has it has 28 compositions and some vignettes, and it's kind of set up for it to be a theater piece too. I have
Yeah.
so much talent in my band. Just to go back and say I could never pull this off, but also great engineers, great concept of how to record. Going back to say Hot. This is the 30th anniversary of that.
Right.
Uh, this year it was one of our breakthrough records. That's still one of our kind of iconic records. But we did it the same way. We just brought some mics into big, interesting spaces, balanced them right, and so I've always been recording the same way. But now I've taken it to a next level with this whole Fat City thing because I've used so many different spaces to record this record. And so we can
Sure.
talk about that later too. But it started with Zebra Ranch, the record that I'm sorry, the studio that I kind of inherited, and it kind of emboldened me. The drum sound and the vibe I got, I felt like I couldn't fail with anything I tried. You know,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love some of the venues that you selected, and it sounded like you were kinda doing this, well, on the road, which had to be, yeah, I don't know when you found any time just to come up for air, but I have to ask you, uh, is there a world where we could potentially, even if it's just a one-off, Jimbo, see this in its entirety live? Because it is so theatrical, man, it feels like, man, this should be off Broadway or Broadway, it just feels like that.
yes, I mean, really, that's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these songs, I mean, just if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, they go back before I even conceived of the Zippers, back when I was doing just marionette theater.
Yeah.
And so it was with Bertolt Brecht and these nice three penny opera vignettes and different kind of dark theater arts I was into, film noir and stuff. And so absolutely, I think the right person, basically this is the template for a person to come in and make an incredible stage production out of.
No doubt.
And I mean, it's right there. It's on the cusp, and I can do it, and the band can do it. But I like collaborating. I think you can see on this record how many different singers are on there, how many different
Yeah.
locations, different engineers. Um, I like the collaborative thing, and I also trust my group so much, and all the individual parts of the zippers that I have now.
Yeah.
So talented. There's great dancers there. There's actors. There's comedians in there as well as incredible musicians. So I mean, I think we're right on that to put. We get the right designer. So it's a dream come true to do something like the Bertolt Brecht, Kurt Weill, Three Penny Opera. Not a tribute, but a legitimate American.
It You're giving a
Because
nod to it, but yeah, but an Americanized kind of
yeah, because
vibe.
it was Germanized American,
Yeah,
and now we're gonna go back.
exactly.
But,
Makes sense.
got I understand it in my DNA somehow, and it's taken me a long time being I'm not a trained musician, I can't read or write music, I'm a good leader of musicians, but it's taken me this long to be able to pull off a thing like Fat City with the scope of it, the different tones, textures, and, so I think that is, forthcoming with the stage show.
I'll tell you what, man, I'll be one of the first ones there. I'd pay some good money, man, to experience it live. I mean, it's that special. And speaking of special, Tom, you ordered a copy of the Squirrel Nut Zipper starring in Fat City. You will not regret it, man. It's a wonderful project that Jimbo and the band have delivered. Also, Steven and Scott, Slava as well, Al, Jerry, Peter, Chad, Mark. I'll get to others as well, and um, they've killed Fritz. I don't know what that means. That's your handle, but howdy ho, back to you. Thanks for being here, and Lost Mayhem was here an hour early, man. It's how much Lost Mayhem was looking forward to it and saying that you guys rule, Jimbo. I mean, you touch a lot of people. I
Wow.
can see that from the fans here.
Wow.
I mean, it's the power of music, as we're saying, and
Yeah.
art,
Power of something very interesting too,
right?
When we came out, we were unique and we're still unique. There's nothing like it. So, I mean, how did we conceive of this even? It almost boggles my mind, but we have a thing that's like a whole genre unto itself,
It's so true.
and so it emboldened me to do this whole Fat City thing and just live to, fulfill that. It's so unique,
It
you
is.
know, and it should be explored more and more heavily in in the theatrical parts, the lighting, the performance of it. So
You're
and
exactly right.
the craftsmanship of the old weird American music, be it Creole jazz, or be some nice swing arrangement, or
Uh, there's
some
aspects of
some strange
blues. Yeah,
ethnicity that's not even been conceived of yet, you know?
you're
Uh,
right.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. I totally
Blues,
agree.
blues, you know?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago, man. I can completely relate to that. You mentioned Clarksdale, Mississippi, man, which is legendary. And I was just curious, man, what radio station would you tune into in Mississippi to hear the Ink Spots? You don't have to answer that. I just had to get that off my
Yep,
chest.
WROX
Nice,
in Clarksdale.
nice. That's
Uh,
amazing.
perhaps on, WDIA in Memphis. Memphis and, Mississippi are joined at the hip, so
Makes total sense for
they're
sure. And
grandfathered in. I'd look at WDIA. They might play them on a Sunday.
love it. And I'll tell you what, man, tonight we're celebrating the new release from the amazing Squirrel Nut Zippers' brilliant body of work. It's
Wow.
entitled Squirrel Nut Zippers Starring in Fat City, packed with amazing amount of music, wide-ranging musical narrative, part fiction, part nonfiction, part autobiographical. Man, it showcases the full scope of the Zippers. For those of you that haven't been exposed before, this is the perfect primer, man. And it has theatrical aspects of it. The album is officially released Friday, March 6th, although TalkShopLive fans can purchase their copies right here, right now. And as Jimbo Mathis's way of thanking you fine fans, he's graciously agreed to sign a limited number of copies purchased here. So to order your copies, hit the shop button on TalkShop Live. Those of you on Instagram, um, very important that you comment because that comment is not necessarily pinned. So comment that and we'll DM you a link. Also on Facebook, the same thing. Just click that DM and the rest is quick, easy, and pain-free. Unlike the slight arthritic condition Jimbo may have developed signing for you fine fans, but I have it on good authority. I think he's already in recovery mode. He's going to be fine. Don't worry, man. Don't turn in refunds for those tickets for those forthcoming shows. This guy's going to deliver in spades without question. And you know what? There's no way to show how much you appreciate an American treasure like Jimbo Mathis and also the Squirrel Nut Zippers and their artistry by owning a copy of their latest musical body of work. Notice I said owning. Streaming's a wonderful thing to ingest songs. This is a body of work. And I'll tell you what, Dark Eyes, man, sexy, swinging opening track, great interplay. I love the riffing between the brass and the piano. Wonderful vocal performance that adds a narrative to, this great opening track.
Yeah, every song, it's 23 on the CD, 28
Yeah,
on the LP, the double LP, but every song has quite an interesting story. That Dark Eyes is an old Russian folk tune. The melody I've always loved so much,
yeah,
and it's always meant so much to me. And I was able to just rearrange it and then create the lyrics, just some simple lyrics like I do. If you follow my poetry, my words, how I string them together, I like a simple, clean line. And
right,
that Dark Eyes, it really kind of opens the show up, in a great
totally.
way. So I appreciate you mentioning that. But
You
it's
wouldn't
based on the old Russian folk melody.
you wouldn't even know that, man. You put your thumbprint on it, which is a mark of, doing a cover and taking it and making it your own. It's an art form. That's not an easy thing to do sometimes.
Well, I think you'll see every song on this. I mean, musicologists could maybe figure out what I'm actually doing, but
Yeah.
oh, it's a
Yeah, that's
certain
why
certain alchemy, and it's a jazz, noir, jazz verte, is
yep,
what I'm trying to present. And so we got Creole jazz, we got some really swanky ballads and some very theatrical stuff, almost some segues and little story narratives that we present in there too to kind of compel the listener and do something. I think like we started the group, it was so unique. I feel like Fat City is going to propel that into another sphere where we get a whole nother generation of little weirdos that really, you know, they
that's right.
really, the music can still change their lives in
You're
style and
right.
fashion and creativity and unique things, can really stand out. And I think now's a great time to stand out with a really unique concoction. That's why really want the double LP, with have the full art where you can see the beautiful packaging and maybe get some hint of the story, something you could, like we did like I did when I was coming to have albums were something you would buy, not only to buy and listen to, but you would just study and obsess over and really
Yeah.
there were meanings that came to you then that that now as an adult it's hard to find, but Fat City intrigues me, and that was the record I was trying to make, something that really kind of intrigued me and got me interested in that process again. Process being the weird old jazz verte template that I started with the zippers, and so
Yeah.
I think I did it.
You nailed it for sure. I'll tell you what I didn't nail was being very clear on how fans, they wanna know, "How can I get copies of it?" Especially on Facebook and Instagram. Say you gotta comment the word "shop," and again, we'll DM you a link if you're on TalkShopLive. Just hit, shop, and, yeah, this music is timeless. It feels nostalgic, but it doesn't sound dated. I mean, to your point, man, it just spans, I mean, great music is great music at the end of the day. The reason why we came up with pigeonholing and coming up with genres was, so we can put it, man, in a bin and put it under a particular, you got an album card that says, oh, this is jazz, this is blues, this is this and that. I mean, at the end of the day, man, great music, you know, pushes the envelope. And that's what's great about what you bring to the table because it isn't
Yeah.
specifically just one genre.
Well, and there's no, I'm beyond the point of caring about music industry or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I love working with my music maker people and with my distributors here. That's why I'm here today.
Yep.
But it's not. This whole project is not has nothing to do with success, just like the Zippers never did to start with. We
Right.
started it as an art project. It started as an interesting, fun project that just blossomed out and expanded. It's been a blessing to my life for 30 years, over 30 years.
Man,
And
you don't sell 3,000,000 albums, just by accident.
well, there's something there. There's a spark there, and I'm trying to find that initial spark where it was just a wild, flaming free vision of weird old America,
Yeah.
But now I know so much more, and I can put music together so easily now, and I've got the hot hand in the studio. I really know how to dial it up and get the sounds I want, and for different characteristics of the songs. I mean, one interesting aspect of this, I decided to just record basically half of the record on the road, but
Yeah.
not live, but overdubbing parts in the historic venues where the Zippers play. We're so blessed to play these great 100-year-old plus
Yeah.
venues,
Yeah.
and so, these places are built for acoustics, so almost every song has a different hall, a different, uh, sound reverb in the room, and so sonically, this is very well conceived, constructed and mixed and everything. It's a masterpiece of engineering, not only writing and performance, but the engineering, the
You're
master,
right.
the mixing, and pull. I did some things on my cell phone, and
Wow.
and, and I used some AI to pull some vocals out of some tracks, so I could salvage them some kind of way. And so, I
Incredible.
mean, I'm not scared of any technique, to record. So, I mean, honestly, one of the biggest triumphs of this record is the recording and engineering uh, process itself.
Yep.
And just you'll hear it over the 23, 28 songs, depending on which product you get, but you'll hear the different spaces come in. Um, and I think that's something that you can't replicate that. You can't
I agree. I agree,
fix
man.
that in
Yeah.
a computer. That's just a real flesh and bones thing.
Yeah,
Um,
man. You know what? I mean, this is your time to shine, man. It's to take everything, your learnings and your skills and your gift and share it. I mean, this is the time for sure. And I hope you don't mind, but I'd like to share some of this music because think it speaks volumes. If that's all right with you, Jimbo.
please do.
Man, let's check out a track from, the new amazing album, Squirrel Nut Zippers Starring in Fat City. Here's a terrific track entitled Lil Tony's Theme. Brad, if you would, please roll the digital.
Slow, the sidewalks glow, the bars have all closed down. Stars that fall cast no shadow, don't cast no spell at all. Can't harmonize with all these gray skies. The jig is up, I'm splitting town. I'm down in the dumps, my diamonds are trumps, but you can't keep a good man down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what a great track, and this is the part where the fans really get upset with me going, "Steve, why would you cut off such a great track?" And for those of you who've been here before, you know how it works. That's because you have to buy it to hear the rest of it. That's kinda how we roll around here. But let me tell you, man, the second half of that is just as amazing as the first part of it. Nostalgic, yet it sounds contemporary, man. To me, it's an instant classic track, and I gotta tell you too, Jimbo, man, love the crooning for this one.
That's Hank West. So I used 4 different singers on this record, each having a different character. So
Yeah.
actually, Hank is actually Little Tony. So um, you're hearing direct from Little Tony right there.
There we go, man, and, we know who Little Tony is, don't we? And, let's check out another track, from the Squirrel Nut Zippers' new amazing album, starring in Fat City. Here's Il Campanile, and, once again, Brad, if you would, roll the digital for us.
Il Campanile, your steeples shine like gold. I made my bones in the shadows of your shining, your spires entwining up to the stars, Venus and Mars. Oh, il Campanile. Oh, it's unknown who the bell tolled. Yeah, it's unknown who the bell tolled.
Man, I'll tell you what, striking track. I think it's banjo work, man, just killer, and what a dramatic vocal, and I don't know what's on the vocal, man, but that tone and everything is just magical.
It's just it's a simple old Shure microphone, man.
Amazing.
My studio tricks are all pretty simple. It's just really a live performance is what we capture there. Il
What a great
Campanile, I
vibe.
mean, the bells in the tower.
Yeah. What a great vibe for sure. Speaking of which, I just want to say that Robert, thanks for purchasing this album. Also, Mark, Chad, Peter, Jerry, Al, Bill, Hazel saying she absolutely loves you guys. Lost ma'am, my heroes. They just light it up. Man, see, I mean, you touch people's lives, man. We need this more than ever,
Right.
Jimbo. I say that with total confidence. Timothy, Caroline, Peter, Martin, and Christopher, thanks for purchasing copies. Man, this is an heirloom. Man, you will keep going back to this record. Penny Dolls, big fan since I was 15 long ago. Got to ask you, Jimbo, on that front, how amazing is it, man, when you set foot on stage and you scan the crowd, man, and you see like original fans from like 1993 that were with you all along, as well as like new generations of fans. Man, it's got to be so fulfilling and mind blowing, really.
It's amazing, and when we were kind of pseudo nostalgia, but I mean, at
Yeah.
this point, we're actually real nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I mean, now it's to the point where I'll see, like last time we were in Los Angeles, there was a 16, 17-year-old girl that had brought her mother who had never heard of us. So it's kind of
Wow.
flipped over now to
Worked in
younger
reverse, huh?
generations. Yeah, because initially it was the parents bringing the kids, and now it's the
Yeah.
kids bringing the parents. But
I love that.
I don't know. I think it speaks to my initial philosophy of this group, which was just something sort of outside of time. It had something that could bring, generations together of all kinds of people,
Right.
and kind of be outside of time. And that's when I presented it to my grandfather, Tony Malvezzi. I presented it to him and he said, "This will never work." He told me on his deathbed. But when he hears the song like "Good Enough for Granddad," he knew it was real. But it
Absolutely.
it really is, it's something that, it's been a part of my vision, my goal ever since the start of this, is to keep it going through the generations and just be that great entertainment value that we all had coming up with Dean Martin's show and
Yeah.
Lawrence Welk show where you saw trombones on TV, and
Right.
you and you got to hear Stardust and things like that. So,
Well,
you know,
mission accomplished. Congratulations, man.
thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
And Penny, thanks for writing in. MPE is saying can't wait for Friday. We know what that means. We got somebody that's going to be showing up to a gig for sure. And Michael,
In
thanks for
LA.
ordering a copy.
In
And
LA.
LA, there we go. Evan, excited to see you guys at Red Wing. Look at that. Another concert ticket holder. Um, Larry wants to know what brought you back together for this project after various hiatuses over the years. And also kudos to you. I mean, because you're kind of, I wouldn't say the last man standing, but the last original guy standing, man. You're keeping the vision and the vibe alive, man. Kudos.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I've had to answer your man's question.
Yeah.
I reformed the band about 10 years ago, and we've been pretty active on the road.
Right.
And we actually put out a couple of records too, but nothing with this gravitas to me as far as the Little Tony project, the Fat City project. But I have had the band on the road. We've been touring pretty consistently for 10 years or at this point.
Yeah.
But yes, some people come and go out of the lineup, but it's still the core of the group can't be changed. That initial fire, that just lightning in a bottle feeling on stage, it can't be
Yeah.
faked. So if I don't have a group that can do that, I won't do it. But I have that group now, and
I'll tell you what,
so
Jimbo,
talented, so talented.
you kinda touched on it, but I'm gonna state it another way, man. You can't manufacture chemistry, right? I mean, it's there or it isn't there, and, I mean, this latest group that you have, man, a pretty powerful group of musicians, man. It just seemed like gelled like you guys have been playing for 20, 30 years.
I agree, this recording, Fat City is a testament to their versatility,
Yeah.
ability to just do it on the fly, and so we're in these halls, and, after sound check and stuff, and I'm setting up microphones and bathrooms and hallways and, in the foyer and stuff, and they were just kind of waiting around, going, "Do you need me now?" Or
Yeah.
I said, "I think I'm good right now, but maybe check in a little bit later."
Yeah, I love that. I love that,
But
and I gotta ask, like, who the musicians that end up getting the bathroom, like, "Hey, man, I got the short straw," you know? But
exactly.
probably sounds the best nonetheless, right?
We had so many venues. I mean, amazing. The Turner Hall in
Yeah.
Milwaukee, this incredible
Yep.
hall, and I'm basically building this airplane as I'm flying it. I promised the record I would turn it in by a certain date in December, and I wasn't quite sure I would be able to do it. But
Right.
I just kind of and then drug the band along with me. I'm sure they were confused about what was going on, but thanks to Hank West, my saxophonist, he brought an incredible little rig, a little laptop rig, and we were able to bring a few microphones, and
Yep.
just every day we kind of whittled it. Well, is this? Can I show you something?
By all means. It's
Okay,
your
so
show, like I said, it's only your rules, my
here's my
friend.
list of all the overdubs we did
Holy
on the
cow.
on the road, and all the titles you can see.
Yep.
I Is this the way
Here
to
we go,
show
"Mad
them?
at the Moon." Yep, we can see it.
Yeah, you can see all the overdubs I did. So this is after sound check between the major shows we're doing, and just so many interesting things on there. So
No
that's the
doubt.
that's the
I love
master
that.
list.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
So you can see all the titles there.
That's so great. I just wanna remind everybody we're celebrating this great new release from Jimbo and, the amazing Squirrel Nut Zippers. Man, brilliant body of work entitled Squirrel Nut Zippers Starring in Fat City, and, the album is officially released Friday, March 6th, but you can purchase your copies right here, right now. To order the copies, if you're on TalkShopLive, hit the shop button. If you're on, Facebook or Instagram, comment the word shop. Okay. So, just comment the word shop, SHOP, and we'll DM you a link. And the rest is quick, easy, and pain free. And look, yeah, you know what? I'm a music fan first. Yeah, I'm in business to be in business. But at the end of the day, you know what? It's really important that you can tell Jimbo's passion when you own a copy of this body of work, man, you're telling him, man, that you appreciate it. And I can't stress that enough. Streaming is a wonderful thing from a technology standpoint, but that's to experience songs, a song at a time. This is a body of work. This is where you really pull the trigger and you need to own it. You need to hear it from top to bottom. And there's no greater way to show how much you appreciate Jimbo and the Squirrel Nut Zippers. Man, there's so many great tracks where the wild things go. I mean, we could be here all night. Midnight's another one. Snake Oil Hustlers and Hambones, man, just the title alone, man, I pay good money for a T-shirt, Jimbo, as far as that's concerned.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. A Summer Storm, man, lovely mood piece, man, sets a wonderful tone and vibe, and that's a
Man,
beautiful thing, man. It's like, you're giving us all these, flavors, Don't Doubt Me, Babe, kind of a ragtime swing track. I connected with this one, man, wonderful break featuring keys and piano, really showcase, that element of it for
we've
sure.
got some incredible swing and jazz. Like, I mean,
You do.
that we've camouflaged in just some amazing songs, some rumbas, some waltzes. I mean, some really moving things like the King of the World that Dr. Six sang. Is
Oh,
Daco Joe.
yeah,
It's one of the most
classic.
moving things on there, and he actually changed some of my lyrics around and came up with some amazing twist on that. I mean, that's just, for example, that King of the World song on there. You
Yeah,
know, I recorded that on my mother-in-law's piano at her home in
wow,
Jonesboro. So I'm planning on going out on this holiday tour with the Zippers. I know my goal is to get enough bottoms of songs down to where I can complete the songs. I
yeah,
couldn't find the right piano to perform that King of the World. And then one day it was over early in December, before we went on the tour. I was just in there in an idle hour. Her piano was perfectly out of tune,
yeah,
and they were gone grocery shopping or something. I just put my cell phone on, recorded the whole piano part, and and then I just overdubbed on my cell phone.
How
uh,
great.
and mastered that and EQ'd that. And with Clay Jones, obviously you'll see on there. There's some really good people involved in the whole production of this record. So it's not just me, but I'm the visionary. I dredged these songs up and I kind of rehabilitated a lot of old concepts to really get to something that I've been trying to do for
Yeah.
quite a while. But without the engineers and
Yep.
the dedication of people just going with oddball ideas, I couldn't get a song like King of the World, you
I'll
know.
tell you, yeah, I'll tell you what, Jimbo, I really appreciate that insight. I only hope that your mother-in-law wasn't listening because right now I'm thinking she's going, think I should be getting a songwriting credit for that song
Oh,
now,
she
shouldn't I?
already knows. No,
Oh, there
I
you
sent
go.
it to her already. Yeah.
Oh, then I'll go to sleep at night, have a good rest, I mean, for sure. Mighty Flea Circus saying, "Jimbo, my man." Bazooka Zilla is saying, "Hoping you guys can be back in Atlanta, Georgia soon." Melanie saying, "Hey, Jimbo." And, Charlie is there. Squee from, El Paso, Texas. Man, you are like, I mean, it's spanning, the country as far as all these fans, pretty amazing for sure. I just want to also remind everybody that we got a couple more tracks we're going to kind of squeeze in. I want to get this one in, another great one. There's so many great ones here, man. We could be here, we could do an all nighter, but it's not in the contract, so I got to squeeze them in. And here's a brilliant track entitled "Castaway Stones." Brad, if you would please roll the digital.
All along the front lane, crazy little bluebird sing, going to colder on my shoulder, make you feel like dying. Cast away your ballast to stone, fly away home. That's the way the world began. That's the way the world began. Feel like I'm in the frying pan. Cast away your ballast to stone, fly away home. Ever since the world began, ever since the world began, ever since the world began. Ever since the world began.
Look at that, man. We saw that one all the way through, man. Music magic as far as I'm concerned. What a great vibe. That's a
Yeah, that's
standout.
based on, I don't know where I read that, but how ships used to have the rocks as
Yeah,
ballast. And
yeah,
then if the ship got pierced, you'd have to throw the rocks, the ballast over to try to save the ship.
right.
So it fits into the storyline of Little Tony.
Absolutely, man. It just captures that vibe for sure. Again, I want to remind everybody we're celebrating this great new release, Squirrel Nut Zippers, starring in Fat City. And the man, the myth, the legend, Jimbo Mathis has graciously agreed to sign copies of it. And all you have to do on Talk Shop Live is hit the shop button. The rest is quick and easy. For those of you on Facebook and Instagram, comment the word shop, spell SHOP, and we'll DM you a link. And the rest is quick and easy. This will be an heirloom. This will be an album that you keep going back to time and time again, man. It's a timeless piece of brilliant musical work. Thanks to
Wow.
Jimbo and the band. And, thanks so much for showing how much you appreciate an American gift and treasure as far as we're concerned. So, Jimbo, I mean, a few more tracks I want to talk about. I mean, Fat City, man, this one's such a fun, sexy track. Great drama. You feel musically as well. I mean, this is another one that was really a standout to me.
That's the one you want to try? The
Well,
Fat City?
I was just throwing that out there just to mention it. We're going to play Dirty River as we
Oh,
close out, actually.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you'll see a broad swath of just that old Americana going from Stephen Foster when you go to something like Dirty River,
Yeah,
up to the great swing bands and the Creole bands. And, I mean, when I came up, I was listening to things I still can't pull off, like Fletcher Henderson and the great arrangers. I still aspire to some swing arrangements like that.
right.
But I also still aspire to the creepy rumbas. And I don't know. I just got set it on this, and I wanted to tell a story
And you did.
with all the tracks. And I really thought about how each one would play off each other with the lyrics, with the melodies. There's recurring themes in the music, melodies, a lot of Easter eggs in here. And then when you see the artwork too, I think you've been showing some on your broadcast, but
We have.
it adds a lot of context to it. So I want to make like you said, something that's an heirloom that everybody can, it's like, you can get into the artwork, you can get into the music and lose yourself, for 75 minutes. And
Yeah.
so it's not just something singles I'm trying to put out right now. And if I've sold more copies here on this broadcast than I ever thought I'd sell. So I thank all your listeners there, for ordering their copies. I'll be glad to sign them and send them on the way. But to me, it's just about keeping that old weird America alive.
Amen to that, man. The gospel according to Jim Mathis, man. I'm drinking that Kool-Aid. I'll tell you that for sure. And Jim Strickland, man, thanks for being here. Also, love this handle, occult stained glass. Yes, spooky zippers. That was kind of the review on that last track. Tommy Jackson music. Thanks for being here, Tiffany in Imiki, also as well. Alberto, thanks for ordering not one but two copies because you got to spread the gospel, man. You got to share the love. Turn your friends onto it. Turn family members onto it. Then this is music medicine, and we need it more than ever right now, without question. So, will we be able to hear at least a number of the tracks on the dates that you guys have committed to for 2026 so far?
Yeah, I'm gonna start sprinkling them in. I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm always evolving our show, thanks to the incredible troupe I have. It's always changing, ever changing. So now
Yep.
we've got a whole nest of hornets we can unleash. But I really, we're gonna probably do some at that Stanley Hotel show, that Shining Hotel. I may
Nice.
debut a few then, but I'm gonna really try to save it when I can really put the whole thing together on a stage production that tells the story and not parse it out. But something like Where the Wild Things Go or Mad at the Moon, maybe.
Yeah.
King of the World, we'll start adding them in, but there's just some classics in there. I feel
Classics, but
like I feel
yeah.
like our show now is so perfect, and so I don't want to upset the apple cart, but
Man,
uh,
we got a lot of history. You got a legacy, man, you gotta keep alive too, so you can't abandon that. I mean, there's an expectation, I think, to deliver some of that material, and that's the biggest challenge you have, right? I mean, is how do you
yeah,
fit everything
this
in?
that you're not wrong, and so this will be a good way to kind of reframe that maybe, and get a new look on what our future will look like. We know we can always go out there and entertain like we've done, eh, provide top-notch entertainment, dynamic band, incredible sound, costuming, fun, joyous times. But maybe there's something more, and I think this whole Fat City thing is the next stage, with adding the
Oh,
components of the play and the story and more costuming. Yeah, so this is kind of the hope for the future, I think, on
well, I'll
that.
tell you what, there is hope for the future, man. I won't be jumping out of my window, although I'm on the ground floor, so that wouldn't do any good. I just have some shards of glass in my arms, and what does that accomplish? But man, I'm looking forward to it. Man, my bags are packed. I will be the first in line to hear that live performance top to bottom. It'd be something pretty special. But you got to man, you got to take care of the fan base, man. You got to give them what they want, man. I mean, it's why we're still here talking, right? And while we're talking about this new album.
Absolutely, yeah. Uh, well, our fan base it's like a legacy thing.
Yeah.
I'm so it touches me every time I show up and every time the band hits the stage. It's just a revelation. Like, I can't believe this little creation we did, this little art project we made has expanded on all these decades, and it continues to grow, and it gets more and more perfect as it goes. It gets more and more honed in. The theaters are so beautiful, the historic theaters, the fans are so curated and beautiful,
Yeah.
and I think their ears are expanding, and so, I think our fans can handle, an expansion, and, I think they're gonna really, really like this recording.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Channel 5 Action News, not sure what city or state you're in, but saying not a bad investment as far as the Squirrel Nut Zippers. Let me say something. If it was cryptocurrency or Squirrel Nut Zippers, I'm going with Squirrel Nut Zippers. No offense to cryptocurrency. I'm not trying to make this political. I'm just saying, man, this is a gift that'll keep on giving for sure. And
Wow.
uh, WBC Therapeutics is saying, man, the future looks bright. I second that emotion and also Coprolite Fancier Stanley Hotel March 20th and 21st. So I don't know if that's a ticket broker or a concert promoter or that's a fan that's going, but I'm going to say it's a concert fan that's going. And you're going to get your money's worth for sure. So, what does the balance of 2026 hold for you, Jimbo? Anything else you can share with us?
Well, I'm just, preparing, some certain dates for the Squirrel Nut Zippers, and then I've got some other things on the horizon too,
Good.
that are gonna end up taking up some of my time, but really, the main thing is to prepare, Fat City for the stage in 27, and also go do some wonderful concerts, for the Zippers fans in 26. Keep the spirit going. There's a lot going on in this world, and when we do show up in a town and we set up and we present our show, it really does bring a joy, and it really does bring an escape, and it really does bring a profound thing for American music, and so, we're gonna perfect it over the year, but, something tells me we'll be quite active, and something tells me our fans are gonna be it's gonna be the best year ever.
Looking forward to that. And that's great
I
news.
really
Before I
think
let
it's gonna be the best year ever, man.
I love to hear that, man. So does everyone else. And before we let you go, we'd like to thank all the fans that were here. And man, there were several hundred of them, man, and they're still pouring in. And just remind everybody, if you got in here late, you can see the rebroadcast available 24/7. Special thanks to Forrest Fabian for planting the seed and bringing us together this evening with Jimbo. Thanks so much, and also Larry Jermack as well, and everyone at MVP, and also thanks to Chris Phillips for doing the magical miracle wonders of making sure that everything tied out tonight, and our fulfillment partners at All Media Supply that make sure that we're getting the music out to all the fans and the signed music to Brian, Sandy, Tina, Joe, Jenny, Lavani, Marty, Kate, Brendan, behind the scenes, Brad, also for making this happen. Thank you, Brad Edwards. But most importantly, to Jimbo Mathis of Squirrel Nut Zippers for continuing to provide his musical vision and gifts for all of us. And pick up a copy of this new album. It's absolutely a brilliant piece of work. Again, it's Squirrel Nut Zippers starring in Fat City, and it's personally autographed by Jimbo. Man, where else can you get that? This is a gift that will keep on giving. And spread the love out there. Give the wonderful gift to Squirrel Nut Zippers. Your friends and family will thank you for it. You worked hard. You deserve it. This will enhance your quality of life. Take it from me. Jimbo, Man, thanks so much for being here, man. It was such a pleasure, man. I really enjoyed it, man. The time flew by. I wish we could be here longer, but thank you for spending so much time with us tonight.
Great conversation, man. Thank you for listening.
Absolutely, man, and thank you for delivering, man. You keep giving us that gift, and we need it now more than ever. As I said before, with that, everyone, stay safe, enjoy life, rock on, enjoy this great record. So long, everybody. Thanks again, Jimbo.
Thank y'all. God bless you out there in 26, man. I'll see you out there. Flow down, you dirty river. Flow from the mountain down to the sea. I'll drink from you again, you dirty river. Someday in my dream, someday in my dream, I sat on your banks and I rode your waters, watched as the poison spewed from the machines. I'll drink of you again, my dear precious water. Someday in my dream, someday